Actually, there is a long story to tell why I pick up this issue, the comfort of women. I need to go back to my origin, actually. I was born and grew up in Nagasaki City in Japan, which witnessed the second Holocaust in 1945. And on the day when the US pilot dropped the atomic bomb over the Japanese citizens, my mother was a primary school student playing with her doll at home. And my mother lived in the city center, which was the prime target of the atomic bomb. But fortunately or unfortunately, the sky was clouded. Sky was clouded so much with very, very thick clouds, and it was very difficult for the US pilot to drop the atomic bomb. So he almost gave up on the dropping the atomic bomb, but the next moment he found a hole in the white carpet of clouds, so he just dropped the atomic bomb into the hole. And the atomic bomb exploded over the hill, which was a few miles away from the city center. So my mother survived the atomic bomb, and at the same time she became atomic bomb survivor, what we call hibakusha. So I am a second generation of hibakusha. And since my mother told this story to me, I have been thinking about the meaning of my life. And when I got married and I had children, I just told my children the tragedy of war and atrocities of nuclear powers and so on. So at the time, I definitely identified myself in Japan as a victim. But there was something who totally changed my awareness, and my life happened to me in 2008. It was the enrollment of one module entitled the U.S.-Japan Relation at the U.S. affiliate Lakeland College, Tokyo campus. And my teacher, who was an American professor, introduced the issue of comfort women to the class. But until then, I had never, ever heard of anything about this issue. I haven't ever learned anything about this, even at school. So what I saw, read, and heard in the classroom was extremely shocking. Right after the end of the World War II, the Japanese military just closed down the comfort stations, in the worst case by burning down or bombing down the comfort stations with comfort women just confined into the inside of the station. So, and at the same time, the Japanese government destroyed all relevant documents just right after the end of the World War II. That was the one reason why it was very difficult to prove from the National Archives. And this issue is very, very sensitive because it has much to do with the sexual harassment, including rape. So it was really difficult for even survivors to identify themselves as former comfort women. But in collaboration with the international feminist groups, mostly South Korean feminist groups and Japanese feminist groups, one very, very brave Korean survivor broke the silence in 1991. That unearthed this controversial issue from the unburied history. Since then, 234 survivors came out, and many of them have sued Japanese government for their war crimes. This issue is not restricted to Japan. This issue is a very universal issue. And the United Nations has admitted this issue as their issue about the violation of human rights against women. And the similar things happened even in the peacetime in the UK, like human trafficking and children pornography, sex tourism. So I would like to re-examine this issue from the different perspective by inviting experts from different disciplinary. And I would like to make the place of the symposium where academia and the community just meet each other and deepen the understanding of the human rights issue. Every country has a very negative, dark side of history, which is full of lessons we should learn from. And then maybe we cannot make the same mistake again.